Welcome back. So today we'll be talking about something interesting. It's really hard even for most artists that are good to draw, and which is the hands and feet. So I'll be starting with the hands. So for the hands, if you look at your hand, if we still use our method of drawing, it's basically a box, has 4 joints, then your palm. So if we want to break it down, we put some smaller rectangles, then this smallest, so this your wrist. So all you need to do after this is to flesh it out. So if I erase what we have beneath, this is our palm, our hand. So you could see how it's easy to draw when we use the shape. Try and do a drawing like this and see how you could draw this hand. Let me do another one. So depending on how you want the hand to be, the angle, you can see it's already a closed fist. And what did I do? I bent it. It may look a bit confusing. Let me do it again. I draw this the same way we did that, but this time I slant my boxes. And if you notice, if you make a fist on your hand, if you tight your fist, you can't see the other parts. If you look at it from here, you can't see the other part of the finger. It looks as if it's just short because everything went inside. It folds. So if we are to draw this, it's going to look something like this. You can now add any detail you want. And when you erase it, it looks like this. Let us practice drawing. Let's do it from an open point, maybe when you are looking at your palm. So look at your palm and let us break it down into shapes. This time I won't draw the circle. The circle could be inside here, but I'll put it for this. Nope. For in the case of this palm, it extend. So we have a joint. You can see you have up to 3 joints. Those are what I use the circle because I want you to know it could bend. There's a bone there. So we are just putting boxes. Oh, sorry, rectangle. When you're okay with it, like I always say, you come back and you flesh. In this case, I can choose to follow it the way it is exactly. Even the other one you could choose to, but I just gave it some gap. So we have our hands. You could do whatever thing you want. You can choose to add any detail. So this is basically your palm. So I am sure you can draw something like this. So go ahead and draw a hand. Now, I would like you to imagine your hand in a 3D space. We've been drawing the plane like this or like this facing us. What if your hand is tilted in an angle, in different perspective? The same principle we did, but just that we are changing the perspective. For instance, once it's like this, we make it a box. So we figure out a way of how to draw our hand using this box-like shape. It could be any way. It could be facing us like this. It could be bent like this, or it could be any way you can think of. We'll take this one a bit. So I will try to draw it from different angle so you see what we are trying to achieve and how easy we can achieve it. So from this angle now, I know this will be our palm, our thumb. So depending on what the hand is doing, sometimes you may just want to look at your thumb and know exactly how you want your hand to be. So you see it's divided into 3. Now for this one, I still use the circle and I fit that circle. If it's not working the way I want, I can erase it and do it again. So I just want to have 4 circle fitted. Then we do a cylinder. Now I'm bending the hand. You could see it. I'm slightly bending it. I'm bending the cylinder. So it has this kind of view. You can imagine how it is. By the time I go ahead to trace it out, we have our hands. We may want to, because we use the box, we don't want it to look completely boxy. We just have to give it a bit of flesh round, so it doesn't look completely boxy. But once we hide our hand, this is it. Once we hide the drawing, the same thing from this angle. Sorry. We are now trying to draw the cylinder to face us and observe the right perspective dimension. If we do a 1 point perspective, this is like a 1 point perspective. So we have our box here and it goes to a vanishing point. So everything now we are doing, like the cylinder, it has to follow this, the way the perspective comes around. So if you are always in doubt, draw the lines, then you try to make it look right. So this is exactly what we're trying to do. Similar, what we're trying to do. This is similar to what we're trying to do. And being a perspective, this side comes forward more. So I may want to know which of the fingers are really, this one should be really in front of us, and this one. So I draw the pipe. So it's more like a pipe, the cylinder. Then for this thumb, the same thing. So we just tilted this way. So this could be somebody slamming his or her hand on a desk. So, or doing push-up or something. So by the time we draw it, it looks something like this. So we can do this, our fingers to show. So you notice we hardly do the thumb thing because the thumb is facing another direction compared to the other fingers. So this is our hand. We may look at say, oh, this one is much longer. Let's shorten it. Maybe we made it much longer. So these things are allowed. You could make, if it's not looking exactly how you want, you just go ahead and erase it and you try to adjust that part well. And I may say, okay, I want this hand to be bigger and pointed another direction. Is okay. Could clean some parts more so it looks much better. And if you check your palm, your hand, because there's a bone here, is certain direction you put it is always trying to let you know that there's something going on here. It will be a bit protruding. So these are our hands. So let's see the other shapes we try to do. For this one now, sometimes your finger walk. We'll be doing different, sometimes your finger walk in a way that's not all of them have to be open. Some can get close. There are some that could be pointy at the same time. There are some you can't raise one and the other at the same time. So you study how your finger move. When you close one, for instance, try closing the finger close to your pinky. You find out that it takes you enough muscle for you to maintain your middle finger up, and more effort. When you try to close it, some other hands want to go down. So you take note of it, and when you are doing some to be close, you note them. So let's do something. So for this one, I want to make this first one to be pointy. You find out the rest three, it's a bit close. So here we go. So practice doing different shapes and different angle of how your hand could bend, and how you can interlock them. So I would like to do one more, then we'll move to the feet. So this is our hand. I may have drawn this too big. So practice drawing more hands as much as you can and try different angles. Practice, and I'll see you in our next class. Thank you.